The internet processes over 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every day, all flowing through an invisible architecture most of us never think about. Today on Technically You, we're exploring the fascinating framework that makes this digital universe possible.
That's such a mind-blowing number. And all that data has to follow specific rules and pathways to reach its destination, right?
Exactly right. Think about sending a text message. It seems instant, but your data actually travels through multiple distinct layers, each with its own crucial role in getting that message to your friend.
So these layers are like a digital postal system, each handling a different part of the delivery process?
That's a perfect analogy. And there are two main frameworks that define these layers: the OSI model with 7 layers and TCP/IP with 4. The fascinating part is how they evolved differently.
Well, that makes me wonder, why do we need two different models? Wouldn't one be simpler?
Here's what's interesting. The OSI model is like a detailed anatomical diagram of networking, while TCP/IP is more like a practical field guide. The OSI model was created by the International Organization for Standardization in the 1980s as a theoretical framework.
Hmm, and I'm guessing TCP/IP developed more organically?
Exactly. TCP/IP emerged from DARPA and evolved naturally with the internet itself. It's more streamlined, taking those 7 OSI layers and condensing them into just 4: link, internet, transport, and application.
You know what fascinates me about this? How something so complex can be broken down into manageable pieces.
Let me share something surprising. When you're streaming a movie, your data passes through every single layer, multiple times, in microseconds. At the physical layer, it's electrical signals. At the network layer, it's IP packets. At the application layer, it's your actual video content.
That's incredible when you think about it. So how do these layers actually work together?
Well, imagine you're sending an email. At the top layer, application in both models, your email client formats the message. Then it moves down through encryption at the presentation layer, connection management at session, reliable delivery at transport, and so on.
And I suppose each layer adds its own wrapper of information, like putting a letter inside multiple envelopes.
Precisely. It's called encapsulation, and here's a wild fact. By the time your data reaches the physical layer, that simple email has been wrapped in multiple headers and trailers, sometimes increasing its size by 20% or more.
So when something goes wrong with our internet connection, these models help us figure out where the problem is.
Oh yes, and this is where it gets really practical. When your video call freezes, it could be a physical layer issue like a loose cable, a network layer problem like a bad IP address, or an application layer glitch in your software.
That explains why IT professionals always seem to go through a specific checklist when troubleshooting.
And here's something most people don't realize. Modern security measures operate at different layers too. A basic firewall might work at layer 3 or 4, while advanced threat detection operates at layer 7, actually understanding the content of your traffic.
Speaking of security, how do these models adapt to new threats and technologies?
That's one of the most brilliant aspects of these models. They're flexible enough to accommodate new technologies while maintaining their basic structure. Cloud computing, virtualization, 5G, they all fit within these frameworks.
You know what I find really interesting? How these theoretical models have such practical applications in our daily lives.
Well, consider this. Every time you use your smartphone, you're interacting with both models simultaneously. Your app operates at the application layer, while your cellular connection handles the physical and data link layers.
So these models aren't just theoretical. They're actively shaping how we build and use networks today.
Exactly. And here's a fascinating statistic. Over 90% of the world's internet traffic follows the TCP/IP model. Yet, network engineers still use the OSI model for troubleshooting and design because of its more detailed framework.
That really shows how both models have their place in modern networking.
And looking toward the future, these models will be crucial for emerging technologies. Whether it's IoT devices, quantum networking, or whatever comes next, understanding these fundamental layers helps us build more reliable and secure systems.
Well, that certainly puts our daily internet use in a new perspective.
Indeed, it does. Every click, every stream, every message, they're all part of this incredibly sophisticated yet elegantly organized system. Understanding these layers helps us appreciate the marvel of modern networking while making it easier to solve problems when they arise.
Well, folks, that wraps up today's episode of Technically You. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more discussions on the tech you use every day.
And as always, stay curious, stay connected, and we'll see you next time.